resumes from the Port of Seattle this week. Passport delays are causing vaccination stress. Disney Cruise Line plans to make dreams come true at Port Everglades. Canada says open, with some rules, and Amtrak could be transformed in 5 years. Welcome back. This is Bob from Bucket List Cruise and Travel with news for travelers, because there are things you don't want to miss and things you didn't know exist. But both must be on your bucket list, and we are here to keep you informed and inspired. After 18 months, finally, we can say that cruises have left the Port of Seattle, even though this had been announced and planned. But until the ships actually sailed, we felt like some last-minute roadblock may happen and the ships may be delayed once again. We are happy to report that we saw with our own eyes the Princess Majestic leave Pier 91 with her first passengers heading to ports of call in Alaska. It appears that our invitation from Princess must have gotten lost in the mail, as we were not invited to be on the first cruise back. But it didn't really dampen our excitement to see cruising back again in Seattle. Getting your passport be the next challenge to getting back to traveling again. Your passport has been put in the drawer for 18 months, with little to no international travel happening. And now that things are starting to open up, we are finding that customers who would have been on top of their passport expiration dates are finding out that they need to update their passports. Remember that to renew your passport, you have to give up your current passport and send it in to the U.S. Department of State. There is currently a 12 to 18 week delay for standard passports to be processed. That means if you are thinking about a trip before Christmas this year, a mere 4.5 months from now, you will need to check your passport and get it sent in now. Speaking of travel, we have a Cruise with Us announcement. We have a small number of group space available on the 2023 Princess World Cruise. Our group space means that not only do we have availability on a very full ship, but we can offer significant savings and special perks on this voyage. We are working on a World Cruise series where we will be discussing our experience on the 2019 World Cruise with Princess, which, if you can believe, is the last World Cruise to be completed prior to the pandemic. So if you have a world cruise on your bucket list, like, subscribe, and follow us so that you don't miss that series or other News for Travelers episodes. Disney Cruise Line is in negotiation with Broward County to secure permanent dock space in Port Everglades Cruise Port in Fort Lauderdale. The Broward County Planning Commission voted unanimously at a June 15th meeting to authorize the county administrator to execute a terminal and berth agreement with Disney Cruise Line. The significance of this development is that Disney Cruise Line intends to port a ship in Fort Lauderdale year-round. August 9th, mark that date on your calendars. Canada will open its borders for non-essential travel across the borders, even as the USA is keeping its borders closed to Canadians. But what are you going to need before you go? American travelers wanting to visit Canada by land, air, or water must complete a COVID-19 vaccination at least 14 days prior to entry. The Government of Canada accepts the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and the AstraZeneca vaccines. Cruises are not yet permitted to enter Canadian waters, but the country's ban on cruise ships with more than 100 passengers is set to end on November 1st. There are still many specifics that you will need to know about the vaccine and testing requirements, so make sure that you know all the rules before you travel north to visit Canada. However, Amtrak may be the big winner of this episode if the Bipartisan Infrastructure Framework Bill passes the Senate. There has been a big push from some lawmakers, most notably Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal, who are pushing to significantly increase the funding for rail service. It's reported to be at $66 billion over the next 5 years. That bill is looking not just to update rail service, but to make transformative change to rail service in America. This is Bob with Bucket List Cruise and Travel. Life is like that very important activity in kindergarten, show and tell. Have more stories to tell and less stuff to show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.